Hey everybody, so I think today I'm gonna try and bust out like 3 or 4 videos in one day. Hopefully they'll all be kind of short. The only one I think that's gonna be long is going to be this one. This one's pretty detailed, but I'm gonna do this one first, as promised. We'll get that one done. And then I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, on a separate video, teach you guys how to do your appliques. That shouldn't take very long. It's really just like a matter of showing you where to grab the stitch. So we'll do that. And then I've been working on what stitch we're going to use to put all of our squares together. We'll see how long that takes. I'm actually starting this at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so maybe it won't all get done today. But I'm going to do this one first. Then we're going to do a whole separate video on this, which will be super short. And then we'll do a video on maybe on how to edge the outside of your squares and why you might want to do that. And then we'll see where we're at from there. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay guys, here it comes. This is what we're going to make today, and it's going to take us a little while, so be patient with me as I try to figure my way through this. There's a lot of things. I'm actually going to send you a link directly to this page, and I had to take a screenshot of the actual pattern because it was so tiny I couldn't even read it with my readers on. So I'm going to assume that some of you are in the same boat I am, so I screenshotted it so that you can zoom in on it. You may even want to go like download it from the Facebook page so that you can, I don't know how far in you can zoom in on Facebook, so you may want to just save the picture and download it. There's going to be, I believe there's 2 pictures. Yeah, 2 pictures. But I'll also give you the link to get to it easily because it took me forever just to figure out how to get here. And the one that we're doing, I'll tell you in the thing, I believe it was January 11th. So we're like in that you actually go through each month, and we're in the January section. But see, there's lots of other cute ones in there. So I do want to give you the link so you have other choices. Some of the things that she asked us to do, are a little advanced. Like she's going to ask us to do a standing double crochet. I've never taught you that before, so I'm going to teach you it on the fly. She also teaches us, or she also asks us to do a popcorn stitch, which she doesn't tell you how to do that, so I'm going to teach you how to do that on the fly as well. So bear with me. Hopefully, those were the sunglasses that my son wants me to order. Bear with me, and hopefully we will get through this together and I won't confuse you. I'll maybe even make you feel super smart. Let's hope, right? Let's hope we all feel super smart after this. Okay, so we're going to start off with a magic ring, and she wants us to chain 1. It's not going to count as a single crochet, as I told you before in the magic rings. So you're going to do 8 single crochets around the ring, and then you're going to join it. So we'll do that really quickly. If you remember, a magic ring is just like doing a slip knot, except for instead of pulling it tight, you're just going to pull it up like this. And you're going to do a chain. That's just to lock it in so it doesn't move around on you. Here, we'll move the yarn. And we'll move that over. And then what you're going to do is you're going to do 8 single crochets into the ring. So don't pull the ring yet. Just go 1, 2, 3, 4, and there is 8. So if you want to double check, it's always a good idea. Don't count the first single crochet. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Okay. And then you're going to pull it tight. Just like that. Magic in the magic ring. And then you're going to single crochet into the or sorry, you're going to slip stitch into the single crochet. And then I make sure that we have 8. So sometimes it's a little different the way people tell you to do that. We want to end with 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this one is not going to count. So when we do our next stitch, we're not going to count this one. We're going to go right into that one. So 1 chain up, and now we're going to do 2 single crochets into each one of these stitches, which is effectively going to just double the size of our circle. Okay, so let's double check and see where we're at. I think we have one more to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. The goal is 16. So we're going to do 1, 2, and then we're going to join into the top of the single crochet, not the chain. And that's it for the yellow round, for this yellow round. So we're going to go ahead and finish it, and we're going to weave it in. Make sure this one's nice and tight. And that's where we're at so far. My ends are woven in. Time for the next round. We're going to go right into the fun stuff here. I believe we start, well, we'll find out. I believe we start with the white. Okay, so what she wants us to do is she wants us to start off with a standing double crochet. This is kind of advanced, so feel good about yourself when you get this done. I think it's kind of advanced. So the reason for a standing double crochet is oftentimes we'll start off with just a chain stitch, and it'll, you'll chain stitch up and then you'll double crochet in the same one, and you count that chain stitch as a double crochet, but it doesn't look the same as a double crochet, and she wants this to be uniform all the way around, so you can't tell where you start and where you stop. So standing double crochet is what we're going to do, and basically all you do for that is you kind of pretend like you already did the chain stitch, and you're going to wrap it just like you're going to wrap, let's see if I can get my hand straight on this. So you're going to wrap it just as if you were going to wrap a double crochet. Wrap it once, pick any row, but you just want to do like the beginning of where you have 2 stitches together. You want to do the beginning of one of those. And then pull it through, and then that is a single. So let's do this again. Hold on. See, it's not something I do very often either. Okay, so go through, pull it through, pull through 2, and then we're going to pretend like this one is the other one. Pull through those 2. Now hold on to it. You're going to do another double crochet into the same stitch. Just like that. Yay, you did it. So now this one's a lot more secure, so you can kind of let go of it. And then we're going to chain. Make sure the little tail stays back there. And then you're going to chain 2. 1, 2. Skip 1. You're going to do 2 double crochets into this stitch. Chain 2 again, skip 1, and do 2 double crochets into that stitch all the way around. Chain 2, skip 1, 2 into this one. Yep, that's going to be perfect. I just count as I go and make sure that I'm getting it right. So like I know I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches left. I need to get 2 more sets of these in there. So I just kind of go, okay, I'm skipping 1, I'm putting 2 in that, I'm skipping 1, I'm putting 2 in that, I'm skipping 1. So it's going to work out perfectly. If it doesn't work out perfectly, then I missed something somewhere. And then I go back. Chain 2, and I believe we're just going to slip stitch into the top of this. But let me just double check, make sure. Yep, okay. So we're going to slip stitch into this. That's the end of that. And then we're going to, I'm going to knot it just because it seems kind of, yep. And then we're going to weave in our ends. So when I'm weaving these in and it's just into a double crochet, I will literally just go back and forth through it, kind of the way it came. Go through these 2 here. Turn around. Remember how you want to make sure there's a loop in between so you don't just basically undo what you just did, and go back the way you came. Just like that. Then we're going to trim that one, or do the same thing with the other one. But on the other side, so that we're not, so we don't have one super huge double crochet that's got like all these yarns through it. We're going to do them equally on the other sides. Okay, now let's do our single crochets. I'm going to move away from that lump right there just because I feel like it'll be cleaner if we start over here. We're going to do a standing single crochet in the first DC double crochet of a two double crochet group. So standing single crochet, you loop it once, go through the back loop, because that's what the thing tells us to do. We're going to do back loops all the way around. And then do 1 single crochet. Hold on to this yarn because it's not really attached to anything and it won't be secure until you do the next one. So go and do the next single crochet in the back loop. Like that. Now you can let go of that. That's going to be fine just the way it is. Okay, so see what's happening because we're going in the back loop, it's making this cool little ridge right here on the front loops. We want to continue that. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do 3 double crochets into this single crochet down here. In order to do that, we're going to move this back kind of out of the way because we're just going to work with this stitch. So you're going to wrap it like you would a double crochet, go through this stitch right here, pretend like that white one is not even there, and go ahead, and we're going through both loops on this one. Go ahead and do 1 double crochet and then 2 more. Okay, and then this is going to basically lay on top of this little pinwheel here. So you've got these 2 are kind of behind, these ones are on top. Then we're going to do, in the back loop, we're going to do single crochet on both of these. If I can get a hold of the yarn. Okay, and then 3 DCs into that single crochet right there that we skipped. So move your white ones out of the way. Okay, then bring the white ones back up And then in the back loop, single crochet on these ones. And you're going to do that all the way around until we get to the other side. This one is where the knot is, so it looks a little funky, but you can kind of see like the top of this one. You're going in the back of the top of that one. And then you're going to go into the back of the top of this one. And you just kind of have to pretend like that knot isn't there. You still have that ridge. Oops, you probably have to trim that a little bit back. Okay, last one. Almost done. I think this is the hardest part to me. Once you've got this figured out, the rest of it is pretty easy. The popcorn stitch will be something new for you, but the rest of it's pretty easy. So move these, go into this. You've already done the back loop on those. Now here's where it's always fun for me is I'm trying to make it so that the back loops connect with each other without it like falling apart. So maybe we should, interesting. It wants you to, she's saying it wants you to slip stitch into, no. She wants me to slip stitch into this. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, that looks pretty good, huh? Nice continuous line across there. Let's do what she says. Weird, you'd think that would like mess up our numbers. But we can always fix it if it does. Okay, so that's what she said is she wants you to slip stitch into the top of the first DC, not into the top of the first single crochet, which I find kind of strange, but we will go with it. Because I think on mine, you can kind of tell where I stop and start right there. And I think with hers, it's a cleaner line. So let's try and do it that way. She seems like she knows more about what she's doing than I do. So on to the next picture, which is this way. Okay. So then round 5. Okay, first let's go ahead and finish this off and weave in our ends. Okay, so round 5, basically what we're gonna do is it says work in back loops only in any first DC of a 3DC grouping. Make a standing HDC, which is a half double crochet, HDC in each stitch around, and then you're going to join slip stitch to the first HDC made. That sounds easy, right? We can handle that. So we'll start wherever. I'm going to start right next to these guys just so that I can weave in the ends as I go. We're going to go to the back loop, put these guys kind of along the edge there, and then we're going to, oh, we have to do a standing HDC, sorry. So pretend like you're doing a standing double. You're going to wrap it twice, go into the back loop, pull up a loop, and then you're just go through all 3 of these, and it's going to feel super weird because that last one is just a twirl on your thing. There you go. Now hold on to this yarn. It's not secure yet until you do the next stitch. So go ahead and do the next one. Make sure that your little tails that you're weaving in are in between. Just like that. And you're going to do that all the way around, and you want it to be in the back loop so that you have this cool little ridge in the front. I'm going to leave these out because I'm going to turn those and go back the other way. So we'll finish those when we get to the end. Okay, so what I love about this one is that she tells us exactly how many stitches we're supposed to be ending off with. And that is helpful because I feel like we skipped a stitch we shouldn't have skipped when we did that last thing. So let's just make sure that we are on the same page with her. She says we should have 40 HDCs. I'm not going to count this. Well, the slip stitch counts as the last one. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. Oh my gosh. So I'm missing 2, and that's probably because I did that HDC or that join and I skipped those 2 stitches, but I do like that it's cleaner right there. So I'm going to go ahead and do my other HDC right here in the same stitch that I just did the last one in, and then I'm going to join, and that join will actually make it be the last stitch. So that'll give us 40, like that. Ta-da! There we go. Okay, on to the next row. Wow, that's really loud. Sorry, guys. Okay, so there's a little bit of a, looks like a little bit of a space there because I put that extra stitch in there. So I'm actually going to kind of try to close that up by as I'm weaving this in. So I'm just going to go back here through these stitches, and we'll just do kind of a tighter weave in, and that should kind of draw them together a little bit better. That looks pretty clean, right? Usually I like to weave in my stitches as I go, or at the end, but sometimes it's nice to just kind of feel like you're starting each row with a nice clean finish. So you don't have like all these yarns sticking out all over. Row 6, right? We're on row 6. In first stitch made in round 5, make a standing single crochet and single crochet in each stitch around, and then just join with a slip stitch. So that's super easy. They still want us to work in the back loops, so that's what we're going to do. I am going to figure out where my back loop is on this. Right here. Oops. I would literally usually wait until he's done doing our yard, but I have so much to cover tonight that I'm just like, hopefully you guys can just handle the fact that there is a lot of lawn mowing going on out there. So we're going to do a single crochet in that stitch, and then we'll do the back loop of this stitch, holding onto that tail, and then now you can let that go because it's a little bit more secure now that you have 2 stitches in there, and then just go all the way around in the back loop only, single crochet. Super easy. This should make you feel like you're flying. I'm gonna turn the volume down. Sorry, that's so loud. But my yard's gonna look pretty. Yay! I always marvel at people who come up with the patterns for these Mandala circles, because they're just the math that goes into making it work is amazing. Because like even now I'm sitting here doing this thinking, did she do that right? Because that's usually you add a stitch and whatever. I'm just going to do what she tells me to do. It worked out fine on that one, so I'm just going to trust and keep going. But it always, to be the person who actually comes up with the pattern always seems like such a marvel when it's a little bit more complicated like this is. Let's double check our stitch count. We have 40 again. Oh, I did do 40. Okay, so we're not going to go into this one. We're going to go into this one right here, and that'll give us 40, which is good because that first one seems like a little floppy to me. So there we go, just like that. And then she says, go ahead and cut your yarn and weave in the ends like we have been. And we're going to do we're going to do popcorn stitches now. This will be fun. Okay. Ta-da. All right. We're more than halfway. Actually, we only have 2 rounds left to go. So the next ones should go pretty quickly. First, let's talk about the popcorn. Well, let's actually get our standing single crochet in there. And it looks like we're not working in back loops anymore, so no more worry about that. I say pick wherever you want to start. I kind of want my popcorn stitch to be over the top of these 3, so I'm going to start right here. Right, because it's going to go single crochet, popcorn stitch, single crochet, skip. Yeah, so I'm going to start right here. Oops. With a standing single like that. Okay, so the idea behind a popcorn stitch is you want to make really tall stitches and then squish them down. So we're just doing single crochets on the top to kind of secure them, but we're going to do tall stitches to make them look puffy like that. And it looks like what I did, it looks like those are triple crochets. So I think I'm going to start with that. You can actually decide how. You can do quadruple, you can do extended triple. There's lots of different things you could do to make those puffy if you want to make them really puffy. But I think those are triples. So, and she didn't explain to me, so I just kind of went with it, what I thought was going to look good, and it turned out okay. So that's what I think I'm going to go to. So let's do 3 triple crochets into this stitch. Oops, hold on. She wants me to do a chain first. So actually what we're going to do is we're going to do 3 triple crochets, but we're going to do them together. So you'll see this is what people do when they're doing a decrease. To do a decrease on something, you'll like do single crochet, but you won't actually complete it. Single crochet, and then you pull all of those together, and that basically decreases it and makes it smaller. We're basically going to do that, but we're going to build it first. So we're going to build 3 triple crochets and then cinch them together on top. So we're going to do pretend like you're doing a triple crochet. I mean, you are doing triple crochets, but you're going to just not finish it. So 1, 2, leave that loop on there. 1, 2, leave that loop on there. And then 1, 2. Now you have all of those loops, and you're going to use 1 chain to pull it all together. So that's your first chain, and your second chain to just kind of, you know how we did that, to kind of go up. And then the next stitch, we're going to do a single crochet. So what that does is it takes all that puffy stuff that you just made and cinches it down so it sticks out like a little popcorn. And then I believe we chain 4. Here, let's double check. Yep, chain 4, and then we're going to skip 2 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip those 2. And then we're going to single crochet into this stitch, chain 1, and then popcorn stitch. So remember, we're going to do triples, 3 of them. Don't finish it, just let it sit there for a second. And one more. And then we're going to do a chain to bring them all together like that. And one more chain, and then single crochet on the other side right there, and that cinches it down and makes the actual puff, just like that. And you're going to continue that all the way around with another chain 4, skip 2, all the way around until you're going to chain 4 over here and connect it together. And see how they're lining up with these? That's what you want them to do, so that they're like the pinwheel, the popcorn stitch is above the gray 3 together on there. So close. That's what it should look like so far. We have one more popcorn to do, and then we're going to connect it. 3, 4 chains, and I believe it's going to connect right into this single crochet right here at the very beginning, just like that. Ta-da! Okay, weave in your ends. And we will do our final row. Okay, so we're going to start off with a standing single crochet at the top of this. So basically what it is it's the one that pulled, this is the single crochet that pulled it all together. We are going to grab the very tippy top of it. Okay, so that is the top of your popcorn stitch. Not where the actual chain stitch is, but the one that pulled it all together. So the very tippy top of that is where you want to be. And we're going to do a single crochet, a standing single crochet in that. So wrap once, go right into that top part, single crochet. And then it says to skip the chain stitch. I kind of mentally skip that chain stitch anyway, which is right there because it's basically just the coming back down the hill. And we're going to do 4 DCs in this hole right here. So not in the chain, but in the hole that was made by the chain. So 4 here. And so what we're making are these points. So I believe there's going to be 2 chain stitches right there. Let's make sure though. So we're going to do, we did our 4 DCs, we're going to do 2 chain stitches. That's basically the top of the hill and then starting to come back down the other side of the hill. And then 4 double crochets or DCs. Just like that. And then it wants us to skip the single crochet and this chain and do a single crochet in the top of this. So we're going to do a single crochet right there. Skip the chain and the single crochet and just go straight into this. Do 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, chain 1, chain 2, and then do 4 more. And that's what it looks like. See that coming together? We're going to do that all the way around, And then we're gonna join it right there, and then we'll be done. I'm actually really looking forward to using these as coasters. So a lot of people don't use coasters. And so I always talk about making them, and it seems silly to some people because they're, you know, just don't live in a coaster life. But I grew up in a house full of antiques. My dad was always refinishing antiques. And so there was always wood, like nice wood that you'd never want to put a water ring on. Otherwise, the parents get angry. So there were coasters all over our house. So I've always grown up that way. And I too have quite a few antiques in my house, just because you know, you kind of become your parents as you get older. And I actually love having nice old pieces of furniture around. And you, again, you know, if you place a cup or something on it and it gets a water ring, it can cause, you know, damage. So I love having pretty coasters. So I'm actually looking forward to this. I know you guys are looking at doing these as appliques, but I'm actually not going to do that. I'm going to use them as coasters. They are the perfect size for a cup, like 3 inches apart on the circle. So it works for me. So I'm so close to being done. And I'll show you too. I think I was going to post it in our page, but remember the angry duck that my daughter loved? I actually did make those into coasters for her, and I did used the heart appliques too, and I gave them to her. Well, they were meant to be given to her on her birthday, but we were so busy doing other birthday stuff that I forgot, and I gave them to her yesterday. So now I can share them with you. But they turned out really cute. I made a second angry duck, but it was a happier duck. So now she has a happy duck and an angry duck and 2 hearts. Last set. It's always so exciting when you get to the end. I love the journey, the in-between journey, but it's always fun when you get done with the project too. Okay, and then we're going to join these together, the top of that single crochet that we started with, just like that. I'm going to knot it just to make sure that it's nice and secure. And there we go. We got our 2 sunburst mandala circles. And we'll just weave those ends in. And you're all done. And I got 2 coasters. Yay! So if you wanted to do this just to make coasters, if they're too big for what you wanted to do on your blanket as appliques and you just wanted to make them as coasters, I highly recommend it. And you will feel super, super accomplished when you get them done, because those are some pretty advanced stitches. So you got to the end of this and you did it all. Congratulations. And if you're looking at it going, I'm just not even sure I want to try it, there's nothing wrong with trying it. I mean, if you get to the point where you're super frustrated and you want to take it apart, that's fine. Maybe come back to it when you feel a little bit more skilled. But right now, you will get here. This will be a great place for you to focus on getting here eventually. And I'm actually going to post the link to all of them because there are tons of cute little mandala circle flowers in there that you can use on anything. And if you can, I think this one is probably one of the most complicated. If you can do this one, you can do any of those other ones that she has. So I'll post the link to that. It's a little hard to figure out. I'll try and make sometimes when you post things on Pinterest, it's a link to another link, and then you're finally on the page. It's kind of frustrating. So I'll get you to the final page so you don't get frustrated with that. And yeah, and then just go through and check them all out. I think I only saw January, February, March listed on there. I assume that there's more. So we'll see. But I think, I mean, what is that, 90 different circles to work with? That's quite a bit. So anyway, congratulations on getting here. We'll go on to the next. I think our next one will be me teaching how to sew an applique on to a square. So tune in for that. Hopefully we'll get both of those up tonight. Talk to you soon.